The scent of blood cut through the morning mist like a blade. Maya Carter pulled her herb basket closer, frost crunching beneath her boots as she navigated the treacherous mountain path. She shouldn't be here. Nobody from the valley settlement ventured into the Blackwood Mountains anymore, not since the wolf attacks started 3 moons ago. But the winter fever had taken 2 children already, and the sage moss that could break it only grew in these cursed heights. Another step, another crunch. Then she saw it, a splash of crimson against pristine white, so vivid it made her stomach lurch. Not deer blood, her healer's instincts whispered. Human. Maya's fingers found the knife at her belt as she crept forward, following the trail that painted the snow like a grotesque map. It led to a cluster of ancient pines, their branches so thick they created a natural cave of shadows. And there, slumped against the largest trunk, was a man. No, what was left of one. His clothing hung in shreds, revealing wounds that looked less like wolf bites and more like something had tried to claw him apart from the inside. Dark hair matted with blood obscured his face, but she could see his chest rising and falling in stutters that spoke of punctured lungs or worse. Maya should run. Every rational thought screamed it. A wounded stranger in wolf territory. Torn apart by something vicious, this had trap written all over it. But then he lifted his head, and eyes the color of storm clouds met hers. "Please," he rasped, the single word carrying an accent she couldn't place. His hand moved toward her, and she saw his fingers were broken, twisted at angles that made her healer's soul ache. "They're coming back." "Who's coming?" Maya dropped to her knees beside him, her hands already moving to assess the damage. The wounds were strange, too deep to be survivable, yet somehow he lived. Beneath the blood, she caught an odd shimmer to his skin, like silver dust had been ground into the gashes. "Run," he whispered, but his broken hand caught her wrist with surprising strength. "You need to." A howl shattered the morning silence. Then another, and another. Maya's pulse hammered. Those weren't normal wolves. The sound was too coordinated, too intelligent, too pleased. "Can you stand?" She hauled his arm over her shoulder, struggling under his weight. He was bigger than she'd first thought, all lean-muscled despite his injuries. "There's a healer's shelter about a mile east. We can—" "No." His eyes flashed, actually flashed gold for just a moment. "Can't lead them to civilization." "Then you'll die here," Maya snapped, already pulling him forward. "And I didn't hike 3 hours to watch someone bleed out on principle." He made a sound that might have been a laugh or a sob. "Stubborn. Human." "Human?" The strange phrasing made her pause, but another howl, closer now, got her moving. She half dragged, half carried him through the snow, her muscles screaming, with effort. Behind them, she could hear branches snapping, something large moving through the underbrush with predatory grace. "Leave me," he gasped. "They want me not." "Shut up and move." Maya spotted the shelter ahead, a small stone structure built decades ago for travelers caught in storms. She'd reinforced it herself, turned it into an emergency healing station. The wooden door was heavy, banded with iron. It would hold. Maybe. They crashed through the entrance just as something massive slammed into the door behind them. Maya threw the bolt, her hands shaking as claws raked against wood. "Barrier won't hold," the stranger mumbled, sliding down the wall. His storm-gray eyes were fading, pupils blown wide with blood loss. "They're not ordinary. Neither am I," Maya said, surprising herself with the fierceness in her voice. She pressed her hands to his worst wound, the one over his heart, and did something she'd sworn never to do again. She let her gift free, warmth, flooded from her palms, not the gentle heat of normal healing, but something ancient and wild. The stranger's eyes snapped wide, that gold flash returning as he stared at her hands now glowing with soft pearl light. "You're," he breathed, "impossible. You're all supposed to be dead." "Yeah. Well, surprise." Maya gritted her teeth as her power fought against whatever was in his wounds. It felt like pushing against tar, thick and poisonous. "What did this to you?" "My own pack." The admission came out broken. "Challenged the Alpha. Lost. This is what exile looks like." The clawing at the door stopped. The sudden silence was worse than the noise. "They're leaving," Maya whispered. No. His hand covered hers, and she gasped at the electric sensation. They're waiting. Sun sets in 6 hours. That's when the poison finishes its work. Poison? Maya examined the silver shimmer in his wounds with new understanding. This is wolfsbane, but concentrated beyond anything I've seen. Alpha's special blend, he laughed bitterly. Ensures banished wolves die slowly, painfully. No pack would dare help a marked rogue. Good thing I'm not pack then. Maya reached for her herb pouch, thinking of her daughter Lila waiting at home with their neighbor. She had to survive this, had to return. I'm going to save you, and then you're going to tell me everything about what you really are. His eyes met hers, silver swimming with gold. You already know. She did. Somewhere deep in her bones, in the part of her that held the old magic, she'd known the moment she saw him. Werewolf. The monsters from legend that supposedly died out a generation ago. What's your name? She asked, grinding herbs with practiced efficiency. Evan, he whispered. Evan Reed. Former beta of the Silver Pine Pack. Current dead man walking. Not on my watch. Maya mixed the herbs with her own blood, a desperate move, but the old texts said healer's blood could neutralize most poisons. This is going to hurt. Can't hurt worse than... He screamed as she poured the mixture into his chest wound. His body convulsed, and for a terrifying moment, she saw his form flicker man to wolf to something in between. Hold on. She pressed her glowing hands to his chest again, pouring more power into him. Fight it, Evan. Fight the poison. His hand found hers again, fingers interlacing. The touch sent shock waves through her system, her gift surging stronger than ever before. For a moment, their energies merged her pearl light and something wild and silver from him. The world exploded in sensation. Maya gasped as images flooded her mind, running through forests on 4 legs. The moon singing in her blood, a pack bond so strong it was like sharing one soul among many bodies. And through it all, a pair of silver eyes watching her with recognition that transcended human understanding. Mine, something primal whispered in her mind. Mate, she jerked back, breaking the connection. Evan's eyes were pure gold now, focused on her with an intensity that made her skin burn. What did you just... I'm sorry, he breathed, his voice deeper, rougher. I didn't mean to. The bond, it just... What bond? But even as she asked, she felt it a thread between them, gossamer thin but unbreakable. When she moved back, it tugged at her chest. When his breathing stuttered, her lungs ached in sympathy. Outside, a long, mournful howl rose. Then another voice, closer to human. The sun sets soon, rogue. Die knowing your bloodline ends with you. Evan's jaw clenched. They'll wait until the poison kills me. Then they'll burn the shelter. Like hell they will. Maya stood, power still crackling through her. You're under my protection now. You don't understand what you're risking. If they know what you are, what you can do, then they'll learn why my kind survived when everyone thought we were extinct. Maya turned to the barred door. We're both supposed to be dead, Evan Reed. Maybe it's time to show them how very wrong they are. His eyes flared brighter, and for the first time since she'd found him, he smiled. It was wild, dangerous, and did things to her pulse that had nothing to do with fear. Thunder rumbled overhead, though no storm had been predicted. Maya's power rose to meet it. The real fight was about to begin. The wolfsbane poison wasn't killing him fast enough. Maya could see it in the way Evan's eyes kept flickering between silver and gold, the way his form shuddered like water disturbed by stones. 3 hours until sunset. 3 hours until the concentrated toxin reached his heart. Stop looking at me like I'm already dead, Evan growled, though his voice carried more exhaustion than bite. Stop dying and I will. Maya shot back, crushing more herbs with perhaps unnecessary force. She'd tried everything, every antidote her grandmother had taught her, every healing spell in her arsenal. The poison kept spreading, silver veins now visible, beneath his skin like toxic rivers. Outside, the pack waited. She could hear them pacing, occasionally scratching at the walls, testing, waiting. You should leave, Evan said for the 100th time. The shelter has a back entrance. They won't hurt you if... If I abandon you to die? Maya's hands glowed brighter with frustration. Not happening. Besides, I have someone waiting for me at home. I don't abandon people who need me. Why? He struggled to sit up, silver eyes boring into hers. You don't know me. I could be everything they say, a murderer, a rogue, a monster. Are you? I challenged my alpha. His laugh was bitter. In my world, that's worse than murder. It's betrayal of the highest order. Why did you challenge him? Evan's jaw clenched. He was leading us to slaughter, making deals with hunters, selling out other packs for territory. When I confronted him, he gestured to his wounds. This was his answer. Maya's hands stilled on her mortar. So you tried to do the right thing. Fat lot of good it did. His body convulsed suddenly, back arching as the poison surged. Maya caught him before he could hit his head on the stone floor, cradling him against her chest. His skin burned fever-hot, and this close, she could smell something wild beneath the blood and herbs, pine forests, and winter storms. Fight it, she whispered, pouring more healing light into him. Please, Evan. His eyes snapped open, pure gold now. Can't. Much longer. His hand came up to cup her face, thumb brushing her cheek with surprising gentleness. Thank you. For trying. I'm not giving up. I know. His thumb traced her jawline. That's what makes you extraordinary. The intimacy of the moment should have made her pull back. Instead, she found herself leaning into his touch, that strange connection between them humming like a plucked string. There has to be something, she murmured. Some way to. His body seized again, and this time she saw it. Clearly his wolf trying to emerge. Fur rippled along his arms before receding. His face elongated for a heartbeat before snapping back to human. The poison was forcing a shift his body couldn't complete. That's it, Maya breathed. You need to shift. The wolf form might be able to fight the poison differently. Can't. Evan's voice was more growl than words. Poison blocks it, keeps me trapped between forms. Another cruelty. Maya made a decision that would have horrified her grandmother. Then I'll force it. Before he could protest, she pressed both hands to his chest and pushed not healing light, but raw magical energy into his system. It was dangerous, potentially fatal, but Evan roared, the sound neither human nor wolf. His form exploded outward, bones cracking and reshaping. Maya didn't let go, even as his skin became fur, as his face transformed into a magnificent wolf's muzzle. She poured everything she had into him, using her gift not to heal but to overwhelm the poison's hold. For a moment, a massive wolf lay before her silver gray with those unmistakable storm eyes. Then the poison fought back, trying to force him human again. He thrashed, caught between forms, and in his agony, his jaws found her shoulder. Pain lanced through Maya as teeth pierced flesh, but she didn't let go. Instead, she felt something else enter her through the bite-wild energy that wasn't quite magic, wasn't quite physical. It burned through her veins like liquid moonlight, and suddenly she could feel everything. Evan's pain, his desperation, his wolf's recognition of her as mate, mine, forever. The word echoed in her bones as Evan's form finally stabilized human again, but changed. The silver veins of poison were receding, fighting against something new in his system. Maya! He stared at her shoulder in horror, at the blood soaking her shirt. I bit you. Oh gods, I bit you. It worked, she said weakly, though the room was starting to spin. The poison's retreating. You don't understand. He pressed his hand to her wound, and she gasped at the sensation like electricity and starlight combined. A bite from a werewolf, especially in mid-shift. It's a claiming. I've bound you to me. Bound? The word came out slurred. Her body felt strange, too hot and too cold simultaneously. You're going to turn, Evan whispered, pulling her against him. Either you'll become like me, or... He couldn't finish the sentence. Or she'd die. Maya understood without him saying it. The pack, she mumbled against his chest. They're still outside. They won't be for long. His arms tightened around her. When the sun sets and I'm not dead, they'll come. And if they find out I've claimed a human, a healer no less, they'll kill us both. Yes. Maya lifted her head. meeting his eyes. The connection between them was no longer gossamer thin. It was a rope of light and shadow, pulsing with each heartbeat. Then we run. You can barely stand, and you're barely recovered. She struggled to her feet, swaying but determined. But together we might survive until midnight. Evan stood with her, his hand finding hers. The touch sent strength through their link. After that, the change will start for you. Then we better find somewhere safe before then. A howl rose outside, different from before, questioning, suspicious. They know something's wrong, Evan translated. The Alpha's poison never fails. Maya grabbed her pack, shoving herbs and supplies inside with shaking hands. The bite on her shoulder throbbed with each movement, sending waves of foreign energy through her system. Back entrance? Through the storage room. Evan was already moving, his body flowing with predatory grace despite his injuries. There's a gorge about 2 miles north. If we can reach it. The front door exploded inward. A wolf stood in the doorway, smaller than what Evan had been, brown with amber eyes. It shifted smoothly into a woman, naked and unashamed, with intricate scars covering her arms. Impossible, she breathed, staring at Evan. The poison failed, Evan said simply. Her eyes moved to Maya, narrowing at the blood on her shoulder, the way Evan stood protectively in front of her. You claimed a human? I claimed my mate. The words sent shockwaves that Maya could suddenly feel at the edges of her consciousness. Wolves howled outside, voices raised in confusion and anger. The Alpha will hunt you both, the woman said. You know this. Then we'll run. You can't run from what you are, Evan. Her eyes glowed. And she can't survive what you've made her into. Maya stepped forward, power crackling around her fingers. Want a bet? The woman's eyes widened. You're one of the forbidden bloodlines. A true healer. Apparently so. For a long moment they stared at each other. Then the woman stepped aside. You have until the moon rises. After that, the hunt begins officially. Evan grabbed Maya's hand. Thank you, Vera. Don't thank me. I'm giving you a head start, nothing more. Vera's form rippled. Run, rogue. Run far and fast, and pray to whatever gods you believe in that your mate survives her first shift. They ran, crashing through the back entrance into the darkening forest. Behind them, howls rose like a symphony of death. Maya's shoulder burned where Evan's teeth had marked her, and with each step, she felt less human and more. Something else. They'd been running for an hour when Maya's legs gave out. The world tilted sideways as she collapsed into the snow, her body convulsing with the first wave of real change. It felt like someone had replaced her blood with molten silver, beautiful and agonizing in equal measure. Maya! Evan caught her before she hit the ground fully, pulling her against his chest. We need to find shelter. The transformation burns, she gasped, clawing at her skin. She could feel something beneath it, something trying to break free. Evan, what's happening to me? Your body is deciding, he said, carrying her to a shallow cave carved into the mountainside. Whether to accept the wolf or reject it. And if it rejects, his silence was answer enough. Evan laid her down on the cave floor, his hands gentle despite their urgency. Maya could see him clearly, even in the darkness too clearly. Every detail was sharp, from the worry lines around his eyes to the way his pulse jumped in his throat. I can hear your heartbeat, she whispered. I can smell the fear on you. That's the wolf senses awakening. He brushed hair back from her fevered face. It's a good sign. Another wave hit and Maya screamed. Her bones felt like they were breaking and reforming, over and over. Via their connection, she felt Evan's emotions, guilt, terror, and something deeper. You love me, she gasped, surprised. How can you love me? We just met. Wolves know their mates instantly, Evan said softly. The moment I scented, if you in the forest, my wolf recognized you. That's why I told you to run. I knew what being near me would mean for you. But you don't even know me. I know you risked your life to save a stranger. I know you have power that should be impossible. I know you're brave, stubborn, and beautiful. His thumb traced her cheekbone. My wolf knows you're ours, and that's enough. Maya wanted to respond, But another convulsion took her. This time, she felt her bones actually shift, her fingers elongated, nails becoming claws for a heartbeat before snapping back to human. "It's fighting," she said through gritted teeth. "The wolf and my magic. They're at war." Evan's eyes widened with understanding and horror. "Your healing gift sees the wolf as an invasion. It's trying to cure you of the transformation. So I'm going to tear myself apart from the inside? Unless..." He hesitated. "You have to choose. Stop fighting. Let go of your magic or let go of the wolf. You can't have both." "But my magic is who I am. My daughter Lila, she has the gift too. How can I teach her if I lose mine?" "Your daughter?" Evan's eyes widened. "You have a child?" "She's safe with our neighbor." Maya gasped through another wave of pain. 7 years old, already showing signs of the gift. "Then she'll understand," Evan said gently, "that sometimes we change to protect those we love." The wolf felt no pain, only power, only freedom, only the pure joy of existence. "Tell me about being a wolf," she whispered. Evan's eyes glowed in the darkness. "It's like breathing for the first time. Every sense is alive. You can run for miles without tiring. The pack bond means you're never alone. And the killing? Only when necessary, only to protect." He pressed his forehead to hers. "We're not monsters, Maya. We're guardians." Another wave of pain, but this time Maya didn't fight it. Instead, she reached for that wild energy inside her. "Hello," she thought to it. The response wasn't words, but feeling recognition. "Welcome. Home." "I choose," Maya said, and let her magic go. The transformation hit like lightning. Her body exploded outward, bones snapping and reforming. She was dimly aware of screaming or howling, but it wasn't enough. She could feel herself stuck between forms. "Maya!" Evan's hands were on her shifting form. "You need an anchor, something to pull you through." She reached for their link, that rope of light and shadow. Evan gasped as she pulled on it, drawing his wolf's strength into herself. "That's it," he breathed. "Take what you need." The world exploded in sensation. Maya stood on 4 legs, her white fur gleaming in the moonlight. Everything was sharp, vivid, alive. She could smell the pack still hunting them, miles back, could hear creatures in the underbrush, could feel Evan's presence like a warm flame. She turned to look at him and found a massive silver-gray wolf watching her with familiar storm eyes. He approached slowly, respectfully, and touched his nose to hers. "Beautiful," his voice echoed in her mind. "My mate is beautiful." "I can hear you," she thought back, amazed. They burst from the cave together, 2 shapes against the snow. Behind them, the pack's howls grew louder, but Maya found she wasn't afraid. She was a wolf now. She had a mate beside her. And somehow, she'd find her way back to Lila. She was finally, truly free. The pack house materialized from the mist like something out of legend. Maya pressed closer to Evan's side, her human form feeling vulnerable after 3 days of running as a wolf. They'd evaded the hunting party through mountain passes and frozen rivers, but exhaustion had finally forced them to seek shelter among Evan's old contacts. "Are you sure about this?" Maya whispered, eyeing the massive timber structure. She could smell at least 20 wolves inside. "Marcus owes me a life debt," Evan replied, though tension radiated through their link. "He'll give us one night. Plus, his pack can send word to your neighbor about Lila." The door opened before they could knock. A barrel-chested man with scarred arms stood in the doorway, his brown eyes widening. "Evan?" Marcus stepped back. "Brother, what have you done?" "What I had to." Evan kept his arm around Maya's waist. "We need sanctuary. Just for tonight." Marcus's nostrils flared, his gaze snapping to Maya. "You claimed a human? A healer?" His voice dropped. "Have you lost your mind?" "She's my mate. She's a death sentence." Marcus grabbed Evan's arm, pulling him inside. Maya followed, feeling multiple gazes as they entered a great room. Conversations died instantly. Marcus led them quickly to a private room, slamming the door behind them. "The Alpha King has every pack looking for you. There's a bounty, Evan. 10,000 in gold for your head." Maya's heart sank. "The Alpha King? Every pack in the region answers to him, Evan explained tightly, including Silverpine. What he's not telling you, Marcus said, pacing, is that the Alpha King is his father. The room spun. Maya stared at Evan, who wouldn't meet her eyes. Your father? By blood only, Evan said coldly. He disowned me years ago. Because you wouldn't become the weapon he wanted, Marcus added, and now you've given him the perfect excuse to hunt you down. I don't understand, Maya said. If Evan is the Alpha King's son, bastard son, Evan corrected. Born to a human mother he kept as a mistress. I'm living proof of his hypocrisy. He condemns human wolf matings publicly while being unable to resist a human woman himself. Your mother was like me? Maya asked. A healer? Was. The word carried decades of pain. She died when I was 10, officially from illness, actually from a concentrated wolfsbane variant, very similar to what they used on me. The pieces clicked together in Maya's mind. They killed her. My father killed her, Evan said flatly. When the other alphas started asking questions about his half-blood son. Knock interrupted them. Marcus? A female voice called. The sentries report movement. Multiple packs converging on our location. Marcus cursed. They tracked you here. Impossible, Evan said. We covered our trail. Unless someone in my pack betrayed us. Marcus's eyes glowed amber. Maya's wolf stirred beneath her skin, sensing danger. Through the windows, she could see shapes moving in the forest. There's something else, Marcus said quietly. Evan, he's coming personally. Your father is leading the hunt. Evan went still. Then we're dead. Not necessarily. Marcus moved to an old trunk, pulling out wrapped bundles. Your mother left these in my keeping before she died. Evan unwrapped the first bundle, a silver dagger with shifting runes. The second held a leather journal and a vial of something that glowed soft blue. What is this? Evan asked, opening the journal. Instructions, Marcus said. For the ritual of Alpha Challenge, the ancient rite that can only be invoked by blood heirs. Maya read over Evan's shoulder. This would make you eligible to challenge for the crown itself. A howl rose outside deep, commanding, ancient with power. Every wolf in the pack house dropped to their knees instinctively. Everyone except Evan. He's here, Marcus whispered. Through the window, Maya saw him, the Alpha King. Even in human form, power radiated from him. Silver hair, the same storm-gray eyes as Evan, and an aura that made her wolf want to either submit or fight. Come out, my wayward son. His voice carried impossibly far. Bring your pet human. Let's end this cleanly. Evan's jaw clenched. If I go out there... We go together, Maya interrupted. Mates, remember? He'll kill you just to hurt me. Then we'd better make sure he doesn't get the chance. Maya held up the glowing vial. This is moonwater, isn't it? Marcus nodded. Your mother was clever. If you complete the mate bond fully, publicly, with witnesses, even the Alpha King can't break it, without breaking ancient law. 1 minute, the king's voice boomed. Evan looked at Maya, 1,000 words passing through their connection. Together? He asked. Together. He drank half the vial and handed her the rest. The moment the moonwater hit her tongue, Maya felt their bond explode into something visible, silver threads of light connecting them. They walked out hand in hand to face the Alpha King, their bond shimmering for all to see. The Alpha King's expression was unreadable as he studied them. Then his lips curved. So, he said, voice carrying dark amusement. My son found his mate. How unexpected. His eyes fixed on Maya. Hello, little healer. Welcome to the family you never wanted. You have your mother's defiance, the Alpha King said, circling them slowly, and her poor judgment in mates. Don't speak of her, Evan growled, stepping protectively in front of Maya. Why not? She's the reason we're all here. The king's eyes never left Maya. Did my son tell you? How his mother died? How she begged me to spare her? Stop. Evan's voice carried warning. She didn't beg for herself, of course. Only for him. Said she'd take any poison I gave her if I promised to let her half-breed son live. The Alpha King smiled coldly. I kept my word. Maya felt Evan's rage across their link, hot enough to burn. But beneath it, she sensed something else, grief. so profound it took her breath away. You loved her, Maya said suddenly. You killed her, but you loved her. The Alpha King went still. Every wolf in the clearing held their breath. Careful, little healer. His voice dropped dangerously. I understand plenty. Maya stepped out from behind Evan. You're hunting your own son because he reminds you of your greatest failure. The Alpha King moved faster than sight. One moment he stood 10 feet away. The next his hand was around Maya's throat, lifting her off the ground. I could snap your neck before my son could blink. Maya met his eyes steadily, even as her air ran out. She pushed a single thought to Evan. Trust me. Then she reached for the Alpha King with what remained of her healing gift, just enough to sense, not to heal. The moment her power touched him, his eyes widened. Because there, buried beneath decades of walls, was a wound that had never healed. The severed mate bond where Evan's mother had been torn away. She was your true mate, Maya gasped. Not just a mistress, your actual, moon-blessed mate. The king dropped her, staggering back. Impossible. I can feel it, Maya said, rubbing her throat. The wound is still bleeding. That's why you can't remarry. A wolf only gets one true mate. Which makes what you did even worse, Evan said, understanding dawning. You killed your own mate. The moon curse must be killing me slowly, the Alpha King finished. Yes, a year, maybe 2. The assembled wolves gasped. Their immortal king was dying. That's why you need me dead, Evan said. If I die without heirs, the crown passes to the council. But if you live, if you challenge, the king laughed bitterly. A half-breed could take everything I built. Then let's settle this properly. Evan pulled out the silver dagger. I invoke the right of blood challenge. Here, now, with witnesses. The clearing erupted. No one had invoked the ancient rite in 100 years. You have no grounds. He completed a full mate bond with a healer of the old bloodlines, Marcus interrupted, stepping forward with the journal. According to ancient law, that grants him full status restoration. The crowd began to chant for the challenge. The Alpha King raised his hand for silence. Very well. 3 nights hence, at the full moon, in the sacred circle. And when I kill you, boy, your mate becomes pack property. And if I win, Evan said, you step down. Completely. If you win, the king laughed. I'll already be dead. He turned to leave, then paused. Your mother would be proud. Stupid, but proud. As the king's forces melted into the forest, Maya felt her knees buckle. Evan caught her, pulling her against his chest. What were you thinking? He demanded. I was thinking we needed leverage, Maya said. Now we have it. He's dying, Evan. Marcus approached carefully. She's right. A dying alpha is unpredictable. 3 days, Evan said. We have 3 days to prepare for a fight I can't win. Can't you? Maya pulled back to look at him. You have something he doesn't. What? A living mate. She touched their visible bond. And I'm going to make sure you survive. Through the window, Maya caught a scent that made her wolf bristle. Someone had been watching someone who smelled wrong, like shadows given form. We have a spy, she whispered to Evan. I know, he replied grimly. The question is whose. Maya woke to the sensation of being watched. Her wolf stirred, hackles raised, as she lay still beside Evan in Marcus's guest room. Across their link, she felt him tense. He was awake too. 3 heartbeats in the hallway, his thoughts whispered. Not Pack. The window, Maya responded. Someone stood at the foot of their bed. They moved simultaneously, Evan rolling left while Maya went right, both landing in defensive crouches. The figure between them laughed. Impressive reflexes. Vera said the same female wolf who'd given them a head start. But if I wanted you dead, you already would be. How did you get past the sentries? Evan demanded. The same way I've been getting past everyone's for years. Vera moved into the moonlight, and Maya gasped. The scars on her arms weren't random, they were runes. Shadow Walker bloodline. We're the secret police of the wolf world. Why are you here? Evan positioned himself between Vera and Maya. To warn you, the Council of Alphas has decided you're too dangerous to live. They've set a trap at the sacred circle. Vera pulled out a vial of clear liquid. This is concentrated aconite, A new wolfsbane variant. They plan to poison. The circle before your challenge. You're betraying the council? Maya asked suspiciously. I'm honoring an old debt. Vera's expression softened slightly. Your mother saved my grandmother once, Evan. She helped Shadow Walkers hide when the Alpha King wanted us eliminated. My mother worked with Shadow Walkers? She worked with anyone who wanted change. Vera set the vial on the table. This is the antidote to their poison. Take it an hour before the challenge. She moved toward the window, then paused. There's something else. The Alpha King isn't just dying from the mate bond curse. Someone's been slowly poisoning him for years. Someone close to him. Who? Evan demanded. That's what your mother was trying to discover when she died. Vera's form began to shimmer. Be careful who you trust, young prince. Even shadows can cast shadows. She vanished, leaving only questions. My mother was investigating someone, Evan said slowly. Someone who wanted both her and my father dead. Maya studied the antidote vial. Evan, what if your mother's death wasn't your father's decision alone? What if someone manipulated him into it? Before he could answer, Marcus burst through the door. We have a problem. Cole Harris just arrived with 20 wolves. He says he's here to witness the challenge, but he's the one who poisoned me originally, Evan finished. They rushed to the main hall where Cole Harris stood, smiling with too many teeth. Hello, Evan. Heard you're challenging Daddy. How exciting. Get out, Marcus growled. Now, I'm here officially as Silverpine's Alpha. Cole's eyes found Maya. And to meet the famous healer who saved our rogue. Something in his scent made Maya's wolf recoil. Beneath his natural smell was something else. Shadows and old blood and wolfsbane. He smells like poison, she sent to Evan. Layers of it, built up over years. Evan's eyes widened in understanding. You're the one who's been poisoning my father. Cole's smile never wavered. Prove it. You wanted them both dead, Maya said, pieces clicking together. Elena, because she was investigating you. The king, because with him gone and Evan exiled, you could take over. Clever little healer. Cole's form rippled slightly, but not clever enough. He moved to leave, then turned back. Enjoy your last 2 days together. The challenge will be memorable. After he left, Marcus grabbed Evan's arm. He's planning something. I know. Evan stared at the door. The question is what? Maya picked up the antidote Vera had left. We take this as planned, but we prepare for betrayal from every direction, including from shadows that cast shadows, she thought, remembering Vera's warning. The game was more complex than any of them realized, and time was running out. The sacred circle thrummed with ancient power as 3 moons rose the regular moon, its reflection in the surrounding water, and the blood moon that appeared only during succession challenges. Maya stood at the circle's edge, her white wolf form tense as thousands gathered. Every pack in the region had come. She and Evan had taken Vera's antidote, but unease prickled through her. Something's wrong, she sent to Evan, who stood in human form at the center. I feel it too, he replied. Stay alert. The Alpha King entered from the opposite side, and Maya's breath caught. He looked ravaged the curse, and years of secret poisoning had left him gaunt, his once silver hair now white as bone. You came, the king said. Did you think I wouldn't? I hoped you'd be smarter. The king began removing his clothes. Your mother tried to change things too. My mother was murdered, Evan said quietly. By Cole Harris. With poison you were manipulated into approving. The king's expression cracked slightly. You don't know what you're talking about. I know Cole's been poisoning you for years. I know Mother discovered it. I know he convinced you she was a threat. Lies, but doubt flickered in the king's eyes. Maya felt movement in the crowd. Cole Harris shifting positions, and with him, 5 other alphas. Her wolf tensed. Evan, we have company. A ritual drum began. The challenge had officially started. Both men shifted the king into a massive black wolf with silver markings, Evan into his silver-gray form. They circled each other, power crackling between them. The king struck first, brutal despite his illness. They clashed in the center, and Maya tasted blood as the king's teeth found Evan's shoulder. He's stronger than he looks, Evan's pain echoed through her. The curse gives him rage. Use it against him. That's when Maya smelled it. Not wolfsbane, something else. Something wrong. The 5 alphas were moving, surrounding the circle. Cole stood apart, pulling something from his coat. "Evan! It's a trap!" Her warning came as the 5 alphas leaped into the circle, breaking sacred law. But before they could reach Evan, shadows erupted from the ground itself. Vera materialized with dozens of shadow walkers, forming a barrier. "No interference," she declared. "The challenge continues fairly." "Shadow walkers," someone screamed. "They still exist!" But Cole hadn't moved to attack. Instead, he threw something into the circle's center, a glass vial that shattered, releasing purple smoke. "Wolfsbane? No," Maya's healer senses screamed. It was something worse, a hybrid poison that attacked both wolf and human aspects simultaneously. Both Evan and the king collapsed, their forms flickering between wolf and human as the poison took hold. "Whoever survives inherits the crown," Cole announced. "And since I'm the only alpha here immune to my own creation..." Maya didn't think. She just moved. Her white wolf form burst through the Shadow Walker barrier, racing to Evan. But as she reached him, she made a choice that surprised everyone, including herself. She went to the Alpha King first. "Maya, what are you doing?" Evan's thought was weak, confused. She shifted to human form, placing her hands on the dying king. She had little healing gift left, but enough to do one thing: purge poison. "Why?" The king gasped, half human, half wolf. "Because Evan needs to win fairly," Maya said, "or the victory means nothing." She pulled the poison from him, not all of it, but enough. Then she turned to Evan, pouring everything she had left into him. But Cole's poison was too strong. She could feel it killing them both, and her depleted gift wasn't enough. "No." Evan forced himself to his feet, facing Cole. "You killed my mother. You've been destroying my father. It ends now." "You're dying," Cole laughed. "You can't even..." Evan did something impossible. He reached through his mate bond to Maya, then through her fading healer gift to something deeper, the connection between all living things that healers could touch. And he pulled. Not healing, he pulled the poison from himself and his father into his own body, then pushed it outward in a wave of pure energy. The purple smoke reversed, flowing back toward Cole, who screamed as his own creation consumed him. "Impossible!" Cole gasped, falling to his knees. "You're not a healer." "No," Evan said, standing tall despite his wounds. "But my mate is, and what's hers is mine." Cole collapsed, the poison he'd spent years perfecting finally claiming him. The clearing fell silent. The Alpha King, barely alive but conscious, looked at his son with new eyes. "You saved me. After everything, you saved me." "Maya saved you," Evan corrected. "I just finished what she started." The king struggled to his feet, human now, broken but breathing. "Then I yield, not because I'm defeated, but because you've already proven yourself the better alpha." He pulled a ring from around his neck. "The Alpha Crown. Your mother designed it for someone who could bridge both worlds." Evan took the ring, and it flared with light, not just wolf power, but something more. The union of wolf and healer, predator and protector. "The age of division is over," Evan announced, his voice carrying to every wolf present. "The age of unity begins now." Maya stood beside him, their bond visible to all silver and pearl intertwined. The assembled wolves began to howl, not in challenge but in celebration. Vera approached, her shadow walkers visible for the first time in generations. "The old alliances your mother forged stand ready to serve, Alpha King." Marcus brought forward a small figure, Lila, whom his pack had retrieved during the challenge preparation. "Mama!" The girl ran to Maya, unafraid of the wolves surrounding them. "Are you a wolf now too?" "Sometimes," Maya said, holding her daughter close. "Is that okay?" "It's amazing." Lila looked at Evan with bright eyes. "Does this mean you're my papa now?" Evan knelt to Lila's level. "If you'll have me." The girl threw her arms around his neck. "I always wanted a papa who could turn into a wolf." 6 months later, Maya stood on the balcony of the new council hall, watching wolves and humans work together in the valley below. The integration was slow but steady. You're thinking about that night again. Evan's arms wrapped around her from behind. I'm thinking about how far we've come, she corrected, leaning into his warmth. The old Alpha King had died 2 months after the challenge, not from poison or curse, but peacefully, having made amends with his son. His last words. Your mother would be proud. Of both of us. Mama, Papa. Lila ran onto the balcony, a young wolf pup chasing her. Luna's teaching me how to track. The pup, Marcus's daughter, yipped in agreement. Carefully, Maya warned. Remember, not everyone can see wolves clearly yet. I know, Lila said seriously. But more people are learning every day. Vera says by the time I'm grown, the whole world might know about wolves. Vera materialized from the shadows, making Lila giggle. The Shadow Walker had become the girl's favorite teacher. Perhaps, Vera said, if your parents' reign continues as it's begun. She handed Evan a report. 3 more packs have requested integration agreements, and the human settlements are asking for healer training programs. My mother's dream, Evan said softly. Finally coming true. Our dream now, Maya corrected, her hand finding his. As the sun set, painting the sky crimson and gold, howls rose from the valley wolves and humans learning to sing together. The world had changed, and this was only the beginning. Remember, sometimes the greatest strength is found in choosing love over fear, unity over division, and mercy over vengeance.